Hello, hello. Welcome on into another Random Rambles podcast. I'm your host, Derek Rexford. Tonight, we have Mr. Kevin Suds over here. Hopefully that's pointing in the right direction. We got, well, at least for me it is,
Yeah.
Mitch Rexford down at the bottom. And then we got Rob the Goods. We have the king of just awful takes, and you'll see why very, very soon. All right, how's everyone doing?
Doing okay,
Oh, just chilling.
No complaints.
All right. So we got 3 topics for today. Hopefully we'll get through them all today. Our first one, obviously, Alex Trebek passed away. Generally irreplaceable. You know, it's not something that's an easy gig to step into, but we decided as a group we got to figure out who's going to do it. You can't have a show like Jeopardy just go off the air. Someone's got to take on that role, shoulder that responsibility. So who is the next Jeopardy host and why? We'll have Kevin Suds give his first opinion.
Okay, so this took a lot of thought, but I think I've finally come down to the best person for it, and that person is Wayne Brady. I think Wayne Brady would be a very good choice for it because he's pretty much a household name. He's been on television since the mid-90s, late 90s, with this, especially Whose Line Is It Anyway? He was on that from 98 to 2007, so almost 10 years of that show running. And actually it reemerged in 2013 where he was a co-executive producer from, I think, 2013 till now. I think it's still in the air. But he's also had his own game show too. I forget what it's called, but it lasted about a year.
Don't press your luck, right?
Let's make a deal, I think.
Yeah, it's Let's Make a Deal. Let's Make a Deal. And I don't know, like I think
Googled this and didn't know it.
I
love that.
Yeah, whatever. He had his own show, the Wayne Brady Show, which had.
But why would he be good at Jeopardy? Why does this make him good for Jeopardy?
Because he's had his own game show, so he's already good at that. He's a household name.
Oh, Wayne Brady.
Yes.
Wayne Brady.
And like just the presence alone, like he's well known, and I don't know. I think he brings that nice comedic blend that Jeopardy doesn't necessarily have, but could use.
All right.
Okay, that's fair.
That's my choice. I love Wayne Brady too.
All right, so let's see where we get a bad take from Rob. Maybe he stumps us all.
So George Stephanopoulos came out campaigning for it, and I don't think you should campaign for this job. A week after Alex passed away. In addition to that, he's 5'5". He'd be like looking over the booth a little bit, like asking everyone, like, "Oh, so I hear you're from Western Michigan," and it's gonna be fucking terrible. Yep. So instead of who it's not gonna be, the answer to who it should be, is Anderson Cooper. Anderson Cooper, great on camera, born in front of it, born from one of the wealthiest families in American history. Did you know that? He's from the Vanderbilt family. His mother, the Vanderbilts that built the railroads, that gave us Vanderbilt University, that gave us Jay Cutler.
You should just stop before you say Jay Cutler. You mean the best Bears quarterback of all time?
And like the third best Broncos quarterback of all time. Like Elway, Peyton Manning, Jay Cutler.
That's true.
Yeah.
So Anderson Cooper, born into it. He was actually on Celebrity Jeopardy. Lost to Cheech Marin, of all people. Really? Cheech was the first ever Celebrity Jeopardy champion. Those two got together to talk about the passing of Alex. And Cooper was like, this is what he said about him. Trebek was the perfect host. He was smart. He was funny when it was called for. He was decent. He was confident enough to know he didn't make the show. He didn't need to make the show about him. That's what's key to Alex and to so many people. He didn't take over the show. It wasn't his personality. He was just there, and you just got used to him. He blended in perfectly. And he had a bunch of game shows before it that didn't catch on. But I think he's like the perfect fit for it. And I also think with Donald Trump not being president, a lot of these left-leaning journalists are going to probably want to seek other things. I think they felt like a social and moral obligation to like report against Trump.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah,
think with
but at the
the new
same-
Biden presidency, like if Trump won, I don't think Anderson Cooper would do this, but I think in a new political landscape, new world, I think he might.
Well, did you see the report that Trump is tied potentially for the Jeopardy role?
Trump?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Which won't work because it's a show about facts, which that doesn't. Those two really go together.
I think he's trying to use like the double Jeopardy clause and has no idea how it works.
Like I think it works in the show.
This is gonna be like the
Kind of
what was
wrestling.
it? The DoubleTree or the wherever he tried to put up a press conference at.
Oh,
Oh, the
four
Four
seasons.
Seasons.
4 seasons. This is
DoubleTree.
a 4 seasons argument.
There was some woman on the internet who was like, "This wasn't funny." Like, are you kidding me? That's the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Like
Next to a crematorium and a dildo shop, right in between.
so,
With 4 seasons.
like put all politics aside, that is the most Arrested Development shit I've ever seen in my life.
Wow,
It is
it really is.
spot on. Like it's like it's banana stand level humor. It's
It's bananas. Yeah.
You
that's
know,
a fact.
I'm actually thoroughly surprised that Rob didn't lead up to that pick by choosing Fred Durst. Like I was expecting a 10-minute rant on why he would be a great host.
I was thinking about doing PewDiePie and just like rebrand Jeopardy as this new millennial fucking Twitch show and just ruin it for every person over 30. Just ruin it.
Right?
yeah.
Rob's like, but as Fred Durst is Jeopardy, he's like, okay, we got a minute left, so let's keep rolling. All right, Mitch, who is your Jeopardy guy?
So I'm just gonna go hit on the obvious, which I think is a slam dunk. I think it's Ken Jennings. Whether you think he's ready right now, like I'm sure they'll put in some kind of celebrity host or somebody who's got more whatever acumen. So while they groom him to be the right guy, I think he's a slam dunk. Slam dunk. Alex Trebek and him seem to get along pretty well, and I feel like when he was on, Jeopardy was like in like almost like a resurgence or a nice boom. When he was on, he lasted I think from June 2nd to November 30th in 2004, and the viewership from that was 22% higher, setting a record for being the highest syndicated program during that stretch of time. So like eyeballs were up over a fifth of what they normally would be. And I mean, I don't really need to really go into too much on how successful he was on Jeopardy. He got over $2.5 million and won 74 consecutive games, which is insane. Those are unrivaled stats. I mean, in money.
Both hours better. But
I actually think he'd be a good host. I'm not saying I'm saying he'd be good because he's got a little bit of humor. So I think he'd be fantastic. There's a 2009 report from Morning Consult that said 50% of people wouldn't watch Jeopardy unless Alex Trebek. If Alex Trebek wasn't the host, they won't watch Jeopardy. So when the news came out about his illness, people are diehard Trebek. So it's going to be a tough transition. Trebek himself said he wanted Betty White to be the next host. Clearly, she's 98 years old, but I don't think there's any downside in that other than the fact that she's a stopgap filler. She is the Washington football team replacement of the Alex Trebeks because it's just a slight little plug-in until you get the new one. So it's just
Mitch.
Man, body isn't even cold, and you just compare him to the Washington football team.
I'm not saying he's the football team. Betty White is the football team. It's a replacement.
Alex Trebek, basically a racist name. You know.
Well, let's not look into this too hard. So I think those are pretty good. You don't really have to go into too much depth on him. I think he's a pretty solid, safe answer. My others in consideration, who I was really debating between, would be I think a fantastic fit would be Scott Van Pelt. He's already got ABC Disney affiliations, so the contract would be very nice to be able to negotiate. It wouldn't be too hard to kind of get him to do Jeopardy on top of that. He's both funny, a great host, and like can kind of engage with people. So I think he'd be a fantastic addition if they wanted to keep it inside the family, but go with somebody who's got a little bit more hosting experience. So those are my two main ones.
I haven't heard Scott Van Pelt at all. That'd be a great fit.
I do like that.
He'd do really well. Ken Jennings doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, that's
I
the
mean,
only thing. I don't think he'd want to. It's tough. That's what I'm saying. If you put Betty White in there and just like kind of run with
Betty
it,
White's not going in there.
No.
just run with it for a summer thing, then like
Jeopardy can't have 2 hosts die within 3 fucking years.
That's the generous 3
you
years.
don't want to be the guy.
I'm trying to be generous.
You don't want to be the guy who replaces Peyton Manning. They need a Curtis Painter.
You
before
don't
he
want
comes
to.
into luck.
You don't want to become the Florida retirement home where old people go to die game show.
Steve Young replaced Montana.
Mahomes replaced Alex Smith.
Well, okay. All right.
Yeah,
So,
but yeah, I don't know. So those are my 2 big ones.
I mean, those are solid. I do like those. My host, it's a really tough situation to be in, obviously, because you can't pick someone who's too famous because they wouldn't want the role, because it's a grueling role. You got to do a lot of shows, and it kind of stifles your creativity to other projects. I am also sticking within the ABC family as of recently, and I'm picking Joel McHale, and here's why.
Yep.
They might
Joel,
do that.
Joel McHale has hosting experience. He hosted The Soup from 2004, I think, to 2010, 11, 12, something like that. He can do a variety of different shows in terms of like an interview style. He has enough youth and humor to kind of carry on, hopefully, a newer audience. But he also knows kind of when to stick back in and kind of let other people kind of develop. He did host the White House Correspondents' Dinner in 2014, so he could take on a big role. And in, I think, April of 2019, he did sign on to ABC to host Card Sharks, which is a game show on ABC. So, like I said, easy transition. He's not someone who's probably getting a ton of big roles coming in, but is someone who I think is comfortable enough in that role and where he is in life to take on something like that because he enjoys the hosting experience. So I think that someone like him would really, bring forth a new, younger demographic, and the loyal people who are to Jeopardy, I don't think they'll get upset with someone like that, as long as he kind of stays in his lane, because he can get a little bit try to do too much sometimes. But I would say it just makes the most sense from a hiring standpoint if he's already said he will do a game show in April of 2019. So it just makes sense to just move that contract from Card Sharks, which he's already signed on to this.
It is good contract management.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually.
know,
It might end up being Joel McHale. That's a really good pick.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Did anyone else have anyone that was in consideration? Just brief, quick ones, quick hitters.
Oh,
I like Anderson Cooper.
it was Tom Hanks. That was my second choice.
We'll get to Tom Hanks, Kevin. We'll get to Tom Hanks.
For fucking what? For what reason?
He's too big profile for this.
Yeah.
All right. So we've had Wheaties cereal for quite some time, and Wheaties and athletes have always been paired together, but everyone knows Wheaties is kind of shitty. Like, it's not
Best cereal. It is. I had a bowl of Wheaties before this podcast, just so everyone knows.
Look at him trying to get that endorsement money.
I wish if I get Wheaties
Not a
sponsor,
sponsor.
I'd love it.
Not a sponsor.
Yeah, that's the best cereal in the world. That's literally the best.
All right.
No.
So
Oh my god.
we're trying to bring in a younger demographic. We got to get the kids more excited. Get them into the sugary cereals, because the parents don't care about their kids anymore. Let's go in. We got to get a new cereal, or cereal that's already been around. Take their mascot and infuse it with a new athlete, sports persona person. Okay. I'm going to go last because I have 4 of these. I had a lot of fun answering this question. So we'll work ourselves back around. We'll go with Mitch first.
Okay, so I'm just going to go with the one I think would strongly increase the brand and just make it just a more recognizable brand, given what's going on or what's going to be going on. My pick is to be Christian Pulisic, to be the Captain Crunch guy. So if you don't know, Christian Pulisic is a winger who's a soccer player, and he plays for Chelsea. He's an American player. He's, I think, young 20s. So he's very good, probably in his position, top 10 in the world when healthy. So very good, very young. So He on Facebook or on Instagram has 3.3 million Instagram followers, which is pretty decent considering. And with soccer being in a huge movement going forward, as teams and parents and people in general are taking more of a sour taste to football, they're either feeding them into soccer or basketball, other sports due to concussions. I think as soccer grows, it's going to be bigger. It's already pretty big in the United States from United States bullish viewership. He moved over to Chelsea recently in the past couple years. So Chelsea gets broadcasted on the Premier League pretty much through NBCSN and all those other stuff, which have a contract. So that's a pretty big deal. Viewership in that is pretty good. And I just want you guys to answer this question. Do you know how many people watched at least 1 minute of the 2018 World Cup on a television?
120 million. A billion. No. 1.5 billion. Fuck it. I don't know.
What'd you say?
1.5 billion. I don't know.
1.5 billion and one.
Kevin?
$1.
$1. Okay. So it was 3.26 billion people.
Yes, I beat Derek.
3.26 billion with another 309 million people watching on mobile. That was just TV.
Wait, hold on a second. For a minute, though, like
At
just-
least.
Just at least tuned in for like a little bit.
okay.
Like, so that's going to be pretty good. The United States has a stacked roster.
But why Captain Crunch? Why does he make the cut your mouth open
Because
better?
his nickname is Captain America. He's the face of American soccer. So his nickname being Captain America, Captain makes it pretty good. And then,
American
so
Crunch.
signing for them would be fantastic. Apparently, 3.99 million, basically 4, eat cereal or have eaten Captain Crunch cereal in the past 7 days, according to this one survey, the census survey. So
Census cereal.
3.3 million Instagram followers and a budding World Cup coming up, I think he'd be a pretty good slam dunk fit, given the nicknames and also them trying to get into another sport that increased popularity. It can grow as over time. It's a good low risk right now that could grow.
One thing I want to add real quick. Does anyone know what Captain Crunch's original full name is?
No.
It is Captain Horatio Magellan Crunch. Fun fact.
Horatio Magellan. I think
Horatio Magellan. Isn't that great?
I
All
think
right.
the ghost is about to kill you, Derek. Watch out. Just fair
Okay.
warning. All right.
No, I'll take one later though. So we're going with let's go to Rob. Who's your cereal mascot?
You know, I'm glad I'm following Mitch on this one because I also picked a bad football player. Well, a soccer player.
Yeah.
He is a very good soccer player. So, Kix cereal.
Yeah.
Kix cereal.
Ooh.
Kid tested, mother approved. I watched so many of their commercials and all of them suck. Every single one sucks. It's like a bunch of kids like, no, it doesn't have marshmallows and sugar in it. It's great. I saw commercials on it from 1950. Picture this. Cristiano Ronaldo comes out, pours milk all over himself, takes his power stance, kicks a giant Kix cereal through the goal. Everyone goes nuts. All the kids are chanting, see, see, see. Ronaldo turns, looks at the camera. Don't miss your kicks.
Oh. That's actually really solid.
Portugal, Madrid, Spain, those markets, do they even eat cereal? And if they did, they wouldn't want the candy cereal. They would be into this kind of weird cereal. Just like little corn pops with milk. Put some fucking fruits in it. They'd love it. It's meant for those markets.
You get the Italian market too, because he's in Italy now.
Oh, is he?
Yep.
Perfect.
Plays for Juventus. Perfect.
Okay.
All right. I like that.
Yeah, that's good.
It actually, all put it all together. You even gave us a little bit of a mental image of what it is. Oh,
Don't miss your kicks. Tell me that's not the kid tested, mother approved, or don't miss your kicks.
I thought you were going
Beyond
for
Ronaldo.
I thought that's where the move was, but all right. Well, I was way off.
You should use "Don't Miss Your Kicks" Roberto Aguayo. He can be your mascot.
Bruce Lee, maybe. I don't know. I'm Roberto Aguayo. That's coming from a long-suffering Bucks fan, let's go over to Kevin Sutton.
No, I'm really glad that my person has nothing to do with soccer or kicks because that was fantastic. So I wanted to kind of do a play on words, and especially with a cereal like honeycombs because they're good. They're just not as popular as they once were. I I kind of blame that cracked out puffball that was advertising for them for a few years.
Yeah, that was bad.
I think a mixture between honeycombs and the honey badger.
Mm.
You know, I could see that. The honey badger like takes what he wants. And he's just like grabbing boxes of honeycombs from children.
Yeah, I
The
definitely.
Macumbo commercial.
So I had a toss up because I thought of honey badger and I'm like, do I do honeycombs or honey nut cheers? And I think America itself is trying to be healthier. I think, but I think honey nut cheers are bland. And I'd rather have honeycombs, and honeycombs really aren't that bad to begin with. They only have 10 grams of sugar per serving.
They ain't no kicks.
You're right. There are no boring ass kicks. They have iron, vitamin B6, and they have something called I think it's thiamine. Now thiamine's like perfect for using carbs to make it as energy, which I think is a really good thing for obviously sports. And so it plays a key role in nerve, muscle, and heart function, which some
This is
website.
straight off the wiki.
It wasn't. It was some other website.
Some of their own website.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they're telling all facts on their own website about how great it is for kids.
Oh no, it wasn't that website. It was-
He's on Kellogg's.com.
Yep.
Honeycomb is basically oatmeal. Steel cut oats, just in honeycomb shapes.
Yep. Oh, that's
Yeah.
great.
Right.
I like that thing. All right, I am sending you guys 4
I'm
images.
excited for this. All right.
Yeah. Oh yes. So the first one that you'll be able to see is my man Ricky Williams as the Cinnamon guy from Applejacks, because you know that Cinnamon guy is high all the fucking time.
He
All
is.
the
He's
fucking
fucking
time.
split.
Like Cinnamon is the Winamon. Like perfect. You know it. That's just the way it is. Next we got Count Chocula with the Brady like can't count at all, but like different count. Yeah, it fits. Then I went with Derrick Rose's joints as
Oh,
crack
no.
open top. Because at this point, I feel like that's the sound he makes when he walks at this point. I don't see it going well. You know, it just is what it is.
That's art.
And then the last one is I used the honeycomb guy. Is Adam Gase's face. That first press conference with his eyes all bugged out. That other one looks like he's on crack. The other one, I'm sure Adam Gase is.
It was smelling salts. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Definitely cocaine.
he's
100% cocaine. Holy
There's-
shit.
There's no way that guy is sober on the Jets. No one is sober on the Jets. So
I'm gonna make this
those
really
reasons,
on my wall folder. That shit's fucking perfect.
Yeah, that was fantastic. The only thing that I would add, and I know we were supposed to get away from Wheaties, but what if Jameis Winston started eating some Wheaties?
oh, eat some W.
Oh, there you go.
LeBron James is on the box right now. Slow your roll. All right, let us enjoy. We had Serena Williams on the box. for like
LeBron
4
does not
fucking-
eat his W's, okay?
He actually wins things though.
He doesn't have to do the antics.
So the only other my honorary mention that I wanted to do as well would have been Conor McGregor and Lucky Charms.
Oh,
Uh,
that's a slam dunk.
That is fantastic.
I think he would have been perfect for it. All these kids are like chasing after him to the other side of the rainbow. He's like, they're after me, Lucky Charms. And he's like, what the fuck are you gonna do about it?
So my only other one that I considered as just I had 2 options listed down was also honeycombs, where I thought Dennis Rodman would be a perfect cracked out crazy comb. Like Dennis Rodman with the resurgence of The Last Dance and stuff like that, he's still a recognizable figure 20 years after his last game. Like people don't even like know, like people have never even seen him play, but know of Dennis Rodman. So like he's crazy. He'd be like the worst brand ambassador of all time, but it's still fine. You know, he's
I
doing
can see
okay for
that.
the United States, I guess.
Is
Yeah,
that 3
great.
honeycombs?
That's 3 honeycombs. I didn't
Jesus.
pick honeycomb.
You could have moved him to Cocoa Puffs. It's definitely cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
I don't know, not in this country.
He's definitely a little cuckoo. All right. And
So
we
those are
touched
all-
on it a little bit on the last podcast. The room was split. Tensions were high. Opinions on Tom Hanks. We have Mitch and Rob, who do not think he is whether he's, we talked about if he's rated appropriately, overrated, underrated, kind of where he is kind of in that great actor, pantheon that we're kind of thinking about. We have myself and Kevin, who think that Tom Hanks is legitimate. And so we're just going to go at it, battle to the death style of
It's over.
for Tom Hanks against Tom Hanks. So I'll start off because I have done, I'd probably say the least amount of research on this, but I just bullshit anyway. So Tom Hanks, in my mind, is ridiculously consistent. As consistent as you want from an actor. When you look at Tom Hanks,
So Jameis Winston.
no, he's not.
He's
Jameis Winston,
consistent.
okay,
He's consistently
30
bad. I mean,
picks and
consistently
30
throwing picks.
No. Tom Hanks had a stretch where he didn't fail. He just did not fail. His first major, his first lead role was like Splash, solid, not bad. But 1988 was big. Then he had a stretch where he hit Philadelphia, where he won.
Straight guys can't even play gay guys anymore. They're not even allowed.
Gay guys
Basically a
don't
band
even
art
play
form.
Great guys. Have you heard about the Prison Break guy?
No.
So they're redoing Prison Break, and they wanted the main character and all the characters back. And the main character is gay in real life. So that guy, he said he doesn't want to play any straight roles for the rest of his life. So,
Cool.
but he's an actor. You could be a tree if you want. Vin Diesel was a tree.
Mitch.
Diesel was a tree.
We are working way off of.
This seems like our
Tom
next
Hanks.
question.
All right, fair enough. Okay, fine.
So let me just look at
Fair.
92, okay? He's got A League of Their Own. Classic
That's a
movie.
good movie.
Then 93, Sleepless in Seattle, Philadelphia, same year. Then he goes Forrest Gump the year after. Then he goes Apollo 13 and Toy Story in the next year. 98, Saving Private Ryan, and You Got Mail, same year. Toy Story 2 in 99 and Green Mile in 99. Castaway did it by his fucking self. Got an Academy Award nominee for that,
He did not do it by himself.
pretty much.
He was a volleyball
All
veteran.
matters.
Wilson, okay, Wilson's not going to get screen credits in terms of Academy Award nominations here.
Buried with Ryan Reynolds was better. 127 Hours with James Franco was better.
This guy is like, all right, when you make a movie, you want to get your money back. You're putting all this money into it, and he gets you your money back and some. That list between 90 and 200, that 10-year decade, if you were to compare that to a sports athlete, that's a ridiculous amount of time of just excellent, pure excellence. 10-year gap of just dominance. So he may not transform like Bale for his roles, but he's fucking solid.
He doesn't transform at all.
That's
All right, so then we're going to go into another guy. We'll go to Mitch, who is for the against. Guys, we got about 10 minutes left on our video call because we're too poor for premium. So, go
So
ahead.
this is all personal opinion. It just is what it is.
Yours is.
Okay, fair. I think your opinion of Tom Hanks generally is aligned with how old you are, because you've listed fantastic movies. Everyone loves those movies, and if you're 40 right now, you will love Tom Hanks. But when we grew up and his last best movie came out, which is Catch Me If You Can, everything else, we'll get to that in a second. But Catch Me If You Can is the best movie he's came out with, which is 18 years old. So Hollywood might not want to fuck it, but basically, he has. I just don't think like when that movie came out, I was 10 years old. I didn't see it in theaters, so it wasn't. It really didn't hit for me. All his other stuff, he's played all these characters that in recent times that are heroes, they're icons and stuff like that, and that makes me nervous because he why is he trying to be this ultimate good guy? Like, what kind of shady shit does he have that he has to fucking land a plane? Okay, Walt Disney is not fantastic, but he's got a cult following. But like Walt Disney, he was Sully. He saved people off the pirate boat or wherever it was, and he was Mr. Rogers. And he's always like a hero or a savior. And I'm like, what kind of credit is he trying to build up on his own name? That like, there's got to be some darkness behind there. Like, these are complete allegations, but like in 2000,
Baseless allegations against Tom Hanks's character.
The
there
slam.
were reports. There were
We get
reports
reported for libel against fucking Tom
Epstein
Hanks.
level stuff in like June or something like that. They're not credited, so I'm not going to say it allegedly, but I don't know. It could explain his like 8 years of all hero roles, and the most important thing is that he is Tom fucking Hanks in every goddamn movie. And that's why he's bankable, because he is exactly Tom Hanks. Sully, he is not anyone else. Tom Hanks weighs the exact same every time, same or very similar facial hair, and has not had a haircut in fucking the same haircut in the past 30 years. He is exclusively Tom Hanks, and his best roles are when he is transformative. Toy Story, Polar Express, those are fantastic moneymakers for his entire career. And it's because we don't have to see his goddamn face. He's the same guy over and over again. I watch every Tom Hanks movie, and it's only Tom Hanks. I'm only thinking about this is Tom Hanks. This is not Anderson Smith or whoever his name is supposed to be. So that's my feelings on it. It is what it is. His credits, those are his own credit.
Let's go over to Kevin, who's pro Hanks.
Preach.
Okay, so while I can get the fact that like he plays a very similar role in most movies, I have a long drawn out thing that I did this morning about the fact that I think he's a good actor, and I think he's a really good human being too. So I'm going to go against those allegations. So he's been I'm going to touch also upon some of Derek's stuff too, just because I wrote everything out. He's been acting for about 40 years, and one of the biggest films that he had was Big, which you brought up. He won a Golden Globe for that, best performance by an actor in a motion picture, comedy, or musical. He also won a Saturn Award for best actor for that. He's been nominated for an Oscar 6 times from 1989 to 2020, and has won 2 times for best actor in Forrest Gump in Philadelphia. There's a few different ones there, but on IMDb he's won 90 awards out of the 185 he's been nominated for. He has been in bad movies too. For some reason, IMDb put Evan Almighty as his worst, but he wasn't even a top actor in there. I don't even remember him in that movie.
Produced it.
Oh, he produced it? Okay.
Later years, he became a producer.
Yeah.
Mamma Mia. Produced it.
Got that in the memory
Band
bank.
of Brothers produced it.
Okay.
So Heroes, gotcha.
So,
You're hiding now.
and then like other movies that are considered to be his worst are the ones before Big. So when he was first starting out, so like The Volunteers, The Man with One Red Shoe, Nothing in Common. So that's all before he really hit it big. And I'm going to go over the fact that I think he's a good person too. He's supported over 30 charities and foundations, with a multitude of them being for children's health, fighting AIDS, cancer. And I really want to harp on the fact, because Mitch brought it up, about the allegations. So there have been rumors of sex trafficking and pedophilia with him. However, most
You're
of
pro
them,
Tom Hanks, Kevin. Why are you bringing up all this shit?
because I'm going to talk against it. So there's been no clear evidence of this. There was an allegation of
Tom Hanks.
arrest. Shut up, Rob. We have 3 minutes left.
No,
There's
go in and do another one, and then
Yeah.
two together if we need to.
So there's an allegation of him being arrested in Australia for pedophilia, where PolitiFact claimed this as pants on fire. Greece. Sorry, what's up? Someone say something?
Nope.
I understand that they're all not confirmed, but if he's also giving.
Okay, so let me get to a different point then. So there was an allegation about him going to Greece to get citizenship there because pedophilia was considered to be a disability. First off, that's not true. Greece does not see it as a disability. Second off, he got citizenship there because his family owned, he's been going there multiple times, and he got an honorary citizenship from
That sounds like Jeffrey Epstein.
according to BBC, Tom Hanks is a citizen there, but his family had been visiting for years, and him and his family were awarded honorary Greek citizenship after their work in bringing attention to July 2018 wildfire near Athens that killed more than 100 people. Talk about a good person.
So, Kevin, just to reiterate, he did get citizenship in an area where you can fuck kids, or no?
No, that was not true either. Greece doesn't see that as a disability, so that's what they were trying to bring up.
What's
What?
the age in Europe? What's the age of consent in Europe?
I don't know.
I'm pretty.
All right.
Tom Hanks sucks. I'm about to run this down in a minute. Tom Hanks got the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the greatest overreaction they could have given him. But also, Bill Cosby got it. So that's kind of his peers as far as I'm concerned. The Da Vinci Code trilogy, all of it sucks. Boring as shit. I feel like I put on a Tom Hanks movie and it's basically a fancy lullaby. All he is mother's fucking milk to the masses. People just watch a Tom Hanks movie because they feel safe and comfortable with it and they know what's going to happen. Everything will be fine. But you know what? Tom Hanks ain't a fucking great guy. And I'm going to go Donald Trump on this shit. His son. Have you seen his new movie, Greyhound? Where he's on a boat. Tom Hanks walks up and down a boat and does fucking nothing in it. It's on Apple TV. Go check it out. It's awful. All right. He got his son, Chet Hanks, on that movie. Chet Hanks sucks. Chet Hanks is, huh?
That's that
Chet
rapper.
Hayes?
Is that why you're
Yeah, Chet
no,
Hayes.
Chet Hayes.
No, his rapper name's Chet Hayes. He came out with Purple and White, a Northwestern remix of the Black and Yellow song. He is on record saying, I do say the N-word in real life amongst my black friends who get me, and can't nobody tell me I can't say what the fuck I feel like. No disrespect to the struggle of black people during the civil rights movement, but it's 2015 now. Tom Hanks' son's so entitled, he says the N-word freely. And he has a fake patois accent. And Tom Hanks helps get him fucking jobs still. You have to ground that kid. You do not give him an allowance until he learns to not.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Tom Hanks people do not want you to know the truth. The age of consent in Greece is 15. I will not be silenced. Chet Hanks must be stopped. He's the worst thing to happen to American culture since COVID-19.
Are you talking into a heat thing?
The rest of my case. Oh, it's a microphone.
Not really.
Yeah.
I thought it was like one of those like heat fan.
All right.
Oh, that'd be funny as shit, though. Hello.
I just like so Mitch's whole thing was he wasn't in anything recent, right?
No.
No, his new movie Greyhound with his fucking
No.
dumbass son sucked.
Okay, but like
It was like just a movie because Tom Hanks was in it. Like that's all it was. Like, what if he's on a boat? And what if we put his scumbag son in there and give him some money?
Yep.
But like,
What did
he was a
Chet
lead-
do to you?
when he was a lead actor during
Chet?
the prime times, when you were a lead actor, he crushed it.
That
No one
is a
wants to see
culture
Tom Hanks as a lead
bolstering.
actor in a lot of these great movies. But when he was and young and a good actor, he killed it during his prime.
All right, first off, straight guys can't play gay lawyers anymore. Those days are gone. So, as I said, forbidden
Bryan
food.
Cranston played a quadriplegic.
Huh?
And that
Bryan
movie
Cranston-
tanked.
What?
And that movie sucked.
I'm just saying he did it. We can't just have like, what, you're going to need an actual gay person suffering from AIDS to play a role of a guy who's suffering from AIDS? It's not
They're
even
not going to give him the AIDS probably. But going forward, I think that's Hollywood's plan.
See, Matthew McConaughey, you know.
Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah, Dallas Buyers Club works.
What?
I'm just saying.
Robert Downey
Shaq-
Jr. played an
Shaq wasn't
Australian guy
Jim.
playing a black guy and almost won an Oscar if it wasn't for Heath Ledger's death.
And that movie will never be on streaming services again. In like 5 years, you're not going to be able to find it anywhere. And that will be the last Hollywood interpretation of blackface.
And so what Rob is saying is to buy up DVDs of Tropic Thunder and then keep them in a
100%.
cool, a cool dry environment so that you can
Like a
basically
humidor for Tropic Thunder.
Yeah. So that you can have those and then be preserved as gold. I think that's what he was saying.
That's going to be
When
the
the economy collapses, we'll be handing out Blu-rays of Tropic Thunder to people.
Yeah, Blu-rays. So that's what we're gonna do. So what was okay? We voiced our side. Rob, if you wanted to go any less words on it or not.
I think I've said everything I can before the Hanks people finish the job. So
Yeah, they have a big reach. They have a country now. You know.
he's got honorary citizenship in Greece, so you can kill anyone whoever the fuck he wants. He's got the Presidential Award of Freedom, which allows you to roofie women,
I think
or
so.
at least has no. That's at least not like they took away Reggie Bush's Heisman for taking some money in college. They should take away Bill Cosby's Presidential Award of Freedom for roofing hundreds of women.
60.
60 women. I thought I was going to say 60. I should have said it.
Yeah, but it's okay. It's still a lot.
It's a lot of women to roofie. I mean, it's definitely worse than Reggie
60
Bush
more than
taking
you should.
money in college.
45, maybe you keep the awards, but 60, I don't know.
54, the Trotter number.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, my boy. No, what? Can you name another person who won back-to-back Academy Awards?
So what? Bro, he's basically Tom Brady. He linked up with Steven Spielberg. He did 5 movies with him. And honestly, they're the most boring Steven Spielberg films you'll ever fucking watch.
What? The man has done a lot of great roles. If you're to take away
And a lot of bad ones.
all right, not really.
Angels and Demons, Da Vinci Code, and Inferno. All 3 of those movies suck. This new movie, Greyhound, sucks.
But
Forrest Gump's
He's also
pretty
made,
overrated.
He's been in hundreds of movies. You just named 4.
But if you took away all,
I mean, you guys have been talking about that Philadelphia movie from when you were 1 or 2 years old. I'm giving you whatever you want.
but if you took away all the movies that Tom Hanks has been in, all of them just removed, vanished.
I wouldn't miss any. I might miss
None.
Toy Story. I'd miss Toy Story.
None.
None.
Green Mile was fucking solid.
That's fine. I'll never need to. I've never been compelled to watch that
Green
movie
Mile
again.
wasn't carried by Tom Hanks.
It's
It was Michael Clark Duncan who crushed it. Tom Hanks was
Okay.
Tom Hanks.
Again.
I could have been Tom Hanks in that movie, and it wouldn't have fucking mattered.
Yeah.
Like Michael Clark Duncan crushed it. Big, he was just a giant kid. Like
Big kid.
the thing is, all those movies. Have you ever looked at a movie with Tom Hanks in it and said that's the actual guy I'm supposed to believe, or Tom Hanks in bad makeup? Because it's always Tom Hanks in bad makeup.
Yeah.
He's never convincing. And like he doesn't have enough energy or enthusiasm or like anything to get him. While I agree he's been in big roles, it's because you were saying Hollywood doesn't want to lose money. So if they don't want to lose money, they're going to put the most boring, safe mother's milk argument that Rob had. And it's just Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is just so safe. It's just like Tom Hanks is like what's the most boring food that you can think? Tom Hanks is like
Breast milk.
a bad slice of pizza. Like it's everyone likes pizza to an extent, but like there's levels to this game. And like he's not Domino's. Don't even dare say he's Domino's. Domino's is everything.
Yeah,
Sponsor.
Domino's.
I just can't get over the fact that like, I mean, he's been so successful. Like I don't think
What's your favorite Drake songs?
Drake.
Yeah, Drake's been alarmingly successful.
Well, Drake and Tom Hanks do have in common that they both went back to back.
They did go back to back.
Yeah.
And
I'm just
they
saying.
also have checkered past with children in different countries.
And you are the biggest Drake fan I know. So
I know.
I also wouldn't put that past Drake.
But you'll give it to Tom Hanks.
Yeah, because Drake seems like a dude. Drake made fun of Kid Cudi for having depression.
I think you're probably taking those words out of context and manipulating.
We could all point to faults around here. I mean, I don't know. I guess we could say time will tell on it because this is gonna look bad. Okay, if we're right, if Rob and I are right, and you guys would be like, "Oh no, he's a good guy," whatever. I'm not saying we're right or we know all the information, but like,
Or
You
when
come
the
after-
son he enables does something violent and dangerous to somebody, which he inevitably will, because Chet Hanks is.
All right, ready? You ready for some real hot takes? Cosby Show was a fucking great show. It
So
was a joke.
roofing 60 women is not
No,
a
no,
deal
no, no.
for Derek.
R. Kelly had great music. Michael Jackson had great music. Awful people. Awful
Okay.
people.
I'm saying Michael Jackson didn't touch those kids.
Okay, but like, if that's the hill you want to die on, that's fine. But like,
I don't think he touched those kids.
you can separate
Maybe he
the
did,
person from their like I'm talking about Tom Hanks as an actor, not as a father, not as a fucking potential pedophile, as a person,
As
as
Kevin
an
brought up
actor,
in defense.
as an actor.
See, and I'll just focus it completely on acting. He hasn't done a good movie in 18 years. He's maybe got nominated, or whatever, but he's just been boring.
In 18 years, we have
Cloud Atlas sucks. Captain whatever. Captain Phillips
Captain
sucks.
Phillips.
Actually, Captain Phillips is okay.
Polar
That
Express was 18 years.
What?
Polar Express.
movie sucks. Oh my god.
You
that's
even
like-
use
I
it as
thought
your
was-
argument to say it was a good movie.
And I think that
It
was
wasn't-
wrong to
it was
bring up.
The voice of Tom Hanks. I said the voice of Tom Hanks is fine because it's not Tom Hanks.
Bro, they put,
All right.
and you can put that on at 1 o'clock. Well, you can put that on whenever, and I'll just go to bed.
But when he was a lead
Oh, wow.
actor, his run was unprecedented. Now, if you are a lead actor, you know your shelf life isn't there because you're always going to find someone younger, more fuckable, whatever you want to put on the thing to make it sell the tickets. He knew
Tom
that.
Hanks was selling
Derek,
sex early in his career.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Derek probably shouldn't have used the fuckable argument.
No, I'm not talking about his action, Kevin. It's the lead role person. He was a lead actor. And then he's like, you know what? I'm going to fucking diversify my shit. Let me go into production. He went on Broadway doing production with that. He was directing. He was nominated for a Tony. He went producing. He produced and starred in Castaway. My Big Fat Greek Wedding, produced it. Polar Express starred and produced it.
It sucks.
Okay.
Mamma Mia produced it.
Sucks. Are you watching these movies? Are you watching these movies?
I've seen all these movies.
And you want to rewatch them?
Not
You
every
would
great movie I want to rewatch.
You would rewatch them?
I would definitely rewatch Polar Express.
Okay.
For Christmas time, I do it.
I'm glad you got time like that. You don't even respect your own.
I do.
To watch movies?
But Polar Express?
Yeah.
It's a good Christmas movie.
Oh, there's so many better ones. Just watch The Grinch with Jim Carrey twice.
That's Jim Carrey's phenomenal.
Jingle All the Way is a fantastic movie.
Oh,
Throw it
Jingle
on,
All the
love
Way is
it.
my favorite Christmas movie.
Turbo Man?
My same argument for Tom Hanks is the exact same argument for Tom Cruise. They're the same character.
Tom Cruise Tropic Thunder, though, a bigger transformation than Tom Hanks has ever
Yes.
had.
Yes. The thing is, I don't really hate Tom Cruise because Tom Cruise knows what he's doing and does the same movie and is not pretending. Every movie he's Ethan Hunt. You give him a new name, he's fucking Ethan Hunt. He's
Why
always
is that different from
Tom Hanks is pretending that he's actually enveloping and just being in these roles, where Tom Cruise is like, just change the name. I'm Ethan Hunt. This is Mission Impossible under any other different name. But Tom Hanks thinks he's a better actor than Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise can stay in his lane. And I think what we need to say is, fuck everyone named Tom. They're questionable.
I can even put. I don't even.
Wow,
want
way to go after MySpace.
Like, bro, Jerry Maguire's fucking sick.
Yeah.
Jerry Maguire's
League of Their Own. No, A Few Good Men. He was great in that.
But even Tom Cruise has had some bangers recently, though. Was it Edge of Tomorrow? That was a great movie.
Yeah, that actually was okay.
Yeah.
It was more exciting than anything Tom Hanks has ever done.
Yeah.
With Steven Spielberg, Saving Private Ryan. Oh my God, he did the war thing. What? Oh.
Yeah.
He was traumatized.
What other actor could you put in Tom Hanks's roles that he's been in who had consistent success? Who could
Daniel
do?
Day-Lewis. Daniel Day-Lewis can do anything whenever he wants.
Daniel Day-Lewis, yeah.
He's the best actor of all time.
You think Daniel Day-Lewis though could play fucking Mr. Rogers?
Yeah.
He
He played Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
I do it better.
I don't think we're ever going to agree on this, and I think that's fine.
I think you could put Tom Hanks' identical son, Colin Hanks, in all of his movies, and they would end up the exact same.
Yeah.
Colin Hanks looks identical to him, and he could be his body double in all those movies at the same age, and they would turn out the exact same every time.
Tom Hanks is a ham sandwich. He's not a pizza. He's not exciting. Pizza's exciting. He is a ham sandwich. It is a meal. It is nutrients. It's safe. Most people like a ham sandwich, but it's boring as fuck. It ain't shit. Like if you go to a deli, you don't want a ham sandwich.
What do you hate about ham, dude?
I'm hungry, Kevin.
and you're like, you know what I don't want? Ham. Fucking hate ham.
No, Tom Hanks isn't delicious food. He ain't shit.
No. I'm about to fuck up that pie, though, from Aurora.
Hell yeah. Let me know how it is. It smelled good. I had some of the batter, which is good.
Well, we're not going to agree on this anytime soon, and we'll have probably more arguments about this. So we'll say goodbye for next time, and then we'll just work from there, I guess. We'll come up with some new questions. I have some in mind that I already want to start with, but I'll send those in the group chat. So see you, everybody.
Daniel Day-Lewis, bless. Tom Hanks, rest. Have a good
See you
day.
next week.